All right, what up, what up, what up? We here. RKT, real estate and finance in the building. You got Rashidi in the building, so Killing's not going to be here today, but Rashidi's going to be going in. So today we're talking about how to prepare for the economic crash. So what is the economic crash about for for all the slow people like me? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, nah, man. It's about like trying to get ahead of the inflation, get ahead of things costing a lot of money, and doing certain things to prepare for that. Because every 10 years or so, there's a couple things that change in the market where it's kind of like a baby recession. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say it's an official recession coming, but you want to prepare. I mean, we see the signs. Eggs is $8 a carton. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So kind of offsetting some of those costs that are adding up and being prepared, because it's going to be like a 2-3 year period of things are just costing you a lot more money. And if you're not careful, you're just going to fall further and further behind the 8 ball type of thing.
A gallon of milk costs $4.81.
That's crazy. So wait, so how does this all work though? Because if there's a let's say a recession, and then they're making the prices higher, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that going to fuck everything up? Because then if it's higher, then most people aren't going to buy shit, and then that's going to fuck up those people's situation, right? So like, is it like a domino effect that goes on with this type of shit?
It absolutely is a domino effect that goes on with this everything. That's why you gotta like prepare for it, because it's one of those things where it takes a while to catch up. So as far as the media and advertising, like they'll tell you, oh, do X, Y, Z, or prepare for it. But let's be honest, like things have been going crazy for like 2 years, 3 years since the pandemic, but people are just catching on 3 years later. Like It's really slapping. Like the egg thing just slapped people, but the egg thing's been going on like 2 years ago when the pandemic first started. So it's a 2-3 year lag time before it really hits you. So it's one of those things where before things start getting real, you got to really start preparing now, way ahead of time.
That's crazy.
What I mean by that, at the end of the day, though, it's one of those things where if you're in debt, you want to start doing things to get you out of debt. So it's one of those things where if you have 10,000 or more debt, you want to do things to get you out of that situation. If you have a house, you want to take the cash out of your house, out of your equity, put that money aside, just doing the little things that you can. If you have insurance, car insurance, house insurance, you actually want to shop the best rate possible, to lower your payment. So stop being complacent. Oh, I've been with this company for 10, 15. No, you need to be shopping who's going to save you money. Right. Like the main key of this thing is like paying attention to every dollar that counts. You know what I mean? Every single dollar that counts. For internet, if you're still paying for Comcast and Cox, stop being silly. You could pay like $50 a month for internet service and download Hulu and all these programs to your cell phone, everybody, and pay like $75 a month instead of spending $250, $300 for internet service and cable. It's just doing the little things that help you save money in your pocket at the end of the day.
Is that the kind of stuff that you walk people through with RKT appraisals?
Absolutely. We look at every single angle. We look at like what you're spending money on, and we give you options and suggestions to reduce that cost.
Right.
So like everything from, like I said, like, most times if you join a cell phone service, a new company like Verizon, they offer you Disney Plus. They offer you Netflix free, like 6 months to a year. Things like that you have to take advantage of. Right. Stop paying for those services for no reason. You know what I mean? That's something where, as small as that is, from Hulu to all that type of stuff, that can save you $100 to $300 a month. You know what I mean? So it's just like little things like that you want to take advantage of. Like I said, if you have a house, you got $80,000 in equity, pull that out. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're not doing anything with it, pull it out just in case of a rainy day. If you have insurance, car insurance, home insurance, shop around for the best rate. It may save you $30, $40 a month.
Right.
Add all those things up, you might be saving like on average $200-$300 a month on simple stuff that you don't even pay attention to on a daily basis.
Right. So Bupo said, so do you think this will be worse than the Great Depression, or is that just people fear mongering?
No, this is not going to be worse than the Great Depression. The Great Depression is a whole different ballgame. The Great Depression was like literally people like really killing people to like survive, and like it was nothing. Like we're not on the Great Depression level. We're too advanced to go back to the Great Depression. But the modified version is that listen, it's costing more money. I mean, like I pointed earlier, a gallon of milk was $4.80. Just 2-3 years ago, that was $3. You know what I mean? Like that's almost a 70% increase. So it's one of those things where stop wasting stuff. You know what I mean? If you buy a gallon of milk, drink it all before it expires. You know what I mean? Just looking for the deals that you need to look for at the end of the day to prepare for this economy crash.
You said how will this stack up against the 2008 recession? He got them like political questions and shit. Like you running for office. So what's your thoughts on that, Rashidi?
Now, I mean, the 2008 recession, like it's a real thing. I mean, at the end of the day, if we all look at it, if we're being honest, we look at history. Every 10 to 12 years, something dramatic happens in the economy. So it's really just preparing for the situation. And we're at that point right now. It was the 2008 recession, and now we're in 2023. But technically, the pandemic happened in 2020, which mathematically is 12 years. And so we reap the benefits of low interest rates, certain things happening. And the people that did not reap the benefits in that 2-3 year period, you're hit now. Because at the end of the day, now you got to prepare for the next 7-8 years to kind of stay afloat.
So wait, like what makes this happen though? So what makes this happen every 10, 12 years? Like what is a thing that causes this? Like why can't they figure it out and be like, all right, we ain't gonna have no more fucking recessions, everything's gonna flow and we good for forever? Like what's happening?
I mean, if I'm being honest, just life. Let's think about this for a second though. Like every 10 years is when you probably notice simple shit. Like, let's be honest, like physically, let's use the physical standpoint. When I was 20, I didn't notice a difference in my body until I was 30. You know what I mean? It's just basic psychology. Like you really don't notice until about 10 years in. It was like, damn, I can't jump like I used to.
Right.
Damn, I can't digest the food I used to digest the right way. So it's like every 10 years is when you finally start to notice stuff. You don't notice stuff like 1 or 2, 3 years or 4 or 5 years. It's like a good gap in between times when you start noticing like things have changed.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's when it takes people to catch on, unless you're super active, you're paying attention to every single detail. But the average person does not pay attention to all the details that come into play.
Nah, fuck all that. Listen, it has to do. No, I mean there's some truth to that. I mean, because a lot of people love. Look, humans. A lot of humans love comfort, bro. You understand? A lot of humans love to kind of like. They get into a comfortable position and then they just coast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But but here's how I see it. I think it has more to do with the people, like the people at the top. That's what I think.
Right.
You understand? Because the only way it would stay the same is if the people at the top didn't want more.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The only way it would stay the same is if niggas got to $1 million and was like, all right, I'm good now.
Right.
But what happens when niggas get to $1 million? They like, all right, let me try for 2. All right, let me try for 5. All right, let me try for 10. All right, let me try for 20. All right, let me try for 50. And it's like, you know what? Fuck that. Let me go for $1 billion, nigga. Like, shit, what the fuck? Let me get to 100 million, 500 million, $1 billion. Now, every time, and I'm not, please don't get me wrong, because I'm one of them niggas. Like, if the business made a certain amount of money last year, it is literally my job to come up with new ideas so we can make more money this year, make more money the next year, and so on and so forth, right? It is what it is. But so, especially in an economy like ours, where we're a capitalist society, where we're pushed by greed or desire or whatever you want to call it. But in my book, there is a consistent, like idea of escalating and wanting more.
Right.
Like, not even for the, not necessarily. I don't think I wouldn't just call it greed. I just think it's just the way it is. Like, capitalism is not about being satisfied.
Right.
You understand? Capitalism is not about being satisfied. Capitalism is about, taking this shit to the highest level possible, and let's see where it goes.
Right.
And so when niggas was like, yo, all right, so we got guys out there who are 100,000aires, and they were the guys.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But see, here's the thing: as people get richer, like for example, as somebody like Elon Musk get richer, he can use more money to put into research to make newer and better shit, or newer and more innovative shit.
Mm-hmm.
So with the newer and innovative shit costing bro, there's a car out there called the Bugatti Veyron. I think that shit cost $10 million.
Wow.
One car, $10 million. And back in the day, the most expensive car was like a couple 100,000.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. It's always going to get it's like the gap is always going to get further and further and further, because if I bought a car that goes 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, then nigga, in about 10 years, I'm gonna want a car that go to 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then I'm gonna want a car that go to from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Then I'm gonna want a car that flies to the fucking moon.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing this for? Like, you see what I'm saying? And so the more expensive those things get, it's a trickle down effect. Nigga, your gallon of milk can't stay the same fucking price if the trucks that drive it to the supermarket have upgraded to a hybrid engine now.
Right, because then that costs more, and then everything else costs more, and everything else costs more. These goddamn greedy Americans, you fuckers. You can't.
Right? And now with that being said, I think that the bottom line with America with economic crashes is basically the middle class and the poor people adjusting to the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because if the money of the CEOs and the Elon Musk and the Bill Gates and the niggas like that, if that jumps exponentially, then guess what? Like I said, all of the technologies that bring you the food that you want, all of the technologies that make the clothes that you want, and this, that, and the third, all of those things are gonna cost more money too.
Right.
You know, like we went from fucking VHS to DVDs. Now we just streaming.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Now you can literally watch what you want when you want.
Right.
And that convenience costs money. So it's like, remember before TV was free.
Right.
TV was free, and then TV went off at like 12 midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Right. Remember that shit?
That's the real shit.
To be honest, I don't even remember that shit, because when that was actually happening, my family didn't own a TV. That's how poor a nigga like me was growing up in Jamaica at age 3. You understand? So
I remember regular TV was like 6 or 7 channels.
Exactly.
That was it.
Remember that shit?
That was it.
With all these channels now, right? Money's being spent.
Yeah. Because I remember when I first got cable, and I was like, wait a second, they have a channel that shows cartoons 24 hours a day. I was hype.
Right? So with all those new conveniences and advancements, innovations, broke people got to get used to the stretch.
Right.
They got to get used to the adjustment, because I'm a rich nigga. It's cool for me to pay whatever for this high end shit.
Right.
There are mid tier and lower tier versions of this high end shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're mid tier and lower tier, guess what? The prices got to go up, because it's the new shit. You understand what I'm saying? The price got to go up, because it's the new shit. So, I think all of the economic joints is like, it's like we stretch the economy, then niggas got to adjust. And then that's where the downturn, because honestly, recessions and shit like that, the only reason why you know about them is because broke niggas complain.
Exactly.
Let's be clear. The only reason why you know that it's a recession is because it's a lot of people in the community complain today, mayors and governors, like, Mr. Mayor, I just got used to paying $3.50 for milk, and now milk is $4.80, Mr. Mayor. And the mayor is like, bitch, what you want from me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the plastic costs more. The truck that drives the shit to the place costs more. The supermarket costs more. The supermarket that houses the fridge that houses the milk that keeps it colder for longer houses more. I mean, costs more.
Right.
So you paying for everything. You understand? You paying for the freshness, you paying for the delivery, you paying for the quickness of the steroids that we use to make the cows get bigger faster so we can milk them more and get you more milk at a higher quality so you can feed your kids and all that other shit. Like everything is a stretch.
Right.
Because the people at the top want more. And it's like, well, I don't care if you're not ready for more.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Right.
Right. So in my book, the way to prepare for an economic crash is to situate yourself as close to the higher class people that you can.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because 100,000, like people with people that got 100,000, at least $100,000 in the bank. I mean, money that they're not even touching.
Mm-hmm.
I think those people, and they have decent cash flow. Those people don't know it's a recession.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
They don't really like for example, like the price of eggs, people who already had money generally don't think about it. They just put the eggs in the fucking shopping cart and keep it pushing.
That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the only way to do it. Is just sad that you always gonna have the have-nots. You always gonna in a capitalistic economy, you always gonna have, and I ain't trying to insult nobody when I say this, but you always gonna have broke niggas. You always gonna have people with less.
Right.
You always gonna have the have-nots. And truth be told, a lot of the have-nots are there because they want to be. Let's be clear. A lot of there's homeless niggas out there that they love their life. They're like, fuck this. I don't have to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? I could just exist and chill. Niggas be chilling, watching Netflix on their phone and all that. They got enough money to pay for Netflix because they using government checks and welfare and all this other shit. Because the money, at the same time, the money trickles down. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. The money trickles down. All these welfare checks that we be writing, all the fucking WIC, welfare, who do you think pay for foster care, nigga?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who you think pay for, all these motherfuckers running around with autism and all this other shit? Who the fuck you think pay for that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what taxes is about. That's what taxes is about. Like y'all don't understand that when Rihanna does a show, not the Super Bowl, because people don't get paid for Super Bowl performances, but when Rihanna does a show and gets paid $100,000, she only takes home about $45,000.
Exactly.
Let's be clear.
Right.
You understand? When they say, oh, Steph Curry just signed a contract for $120,000 for the next 4 years, Steph Curry is only actually taking home about 55 to 60 million of that fucking money. You understand? At the end of the day, because taxes have to be paid, and where do those taxes go? Those taxes go to the have-not. So that's why as we get more, like we stretch out the economy, rich people got to pay more taxes. So to me, it's really all about emotional people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The economics is. I mean, look, the stock market crash in the 30s. I think that was definitely more real. Like niggas was on bread lines, starving to death in the street.
Right, exactly. That was some other shit.
That was some other shit, but that's because actual civilization was still in the building stage.
Right.
But the society that we have today, nigga, people come up to me begging me for money. And then I say to them, well, I ain't gonna give you no money, but if you want me to buy you something, I'll buy it for you.
Right.
And they're like, nah, I'm good.
Right. So they ain't really need it.
So you're not really like assed out like that. You still got preferences.
Right.
Because we in this type of age where shit is mad convenient. You could get on your phone and do Instacart. You could get on your phone and if you have access to a car, you do Uber and make some money, get some money in your pocket and go buy whatever you want. Like, it's not the same as it used to be. But what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of people complaining. You understand? Right. Because when life is really, really good, any type of obstruction or challenge is always going to be something that niggas want to complain about. Right. You understand? So, again, like I said, if you want to stay recession free, you just gotta be in the industry with a mean cash flow. You know what I'm saying? You have to be closer to the elites if you can somehow. Like your tax bracket gotta be up there, and then you gotta use all the loopholes that the other rich people use to not pay as much in taxes and shit like that. You see what I'm saying?
I just realized if a person's complaining, then shit isn't actually that bad. Because if it was that bad, they wouldn't have time to complain. They'd have to get to work and do this shit because shit is that bad. You know what I'm saying? So complain that shit ain't that bad. Because if it was that bad, you wouldn't have time to complain. You'd have to fucking like do shit because you ain't got time to be complaining about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is.
Exactly.
But man, now that's some real shit though that you're saying about you know, like the I guess the poorer the person is, the more that they recognize it and the more that they're hit with it, because I feel like the less money you have, the more focused you are on the money.
Right.
You know, like on how much money that you
don't
have. Right. So it's like, shit, this shit costs $7 now. Damn, that's gonna set me back. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's true. If you have a certain amount of money, you're like, damn, this is more expensive than it used to be. Then that means that now that puts a shift in the shit that I got. Versus if somebody was never really, they had enough money to not think about that, then it doesn't really affect them, because on a grander scale, it's like whatever. It just doesn't really hurt their pockets, because it's, you know, they already had a surplus of money anyway. They've already had 10 times the amount of money they needed to survive anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
And to your point, Mr. Locario, like in today's world, there's only like really two brackets of people outside of the rich and the wealthy. It's the people, to your point earlier on, that's on the system in terms of welfare and government programs.
Right.
And like, because they make even if it's $1 less than the state system, they get blessed with all the stuff, whether it's food stamps, you get, you know, if you're a single person, $200 a month to buy food, or you got kids, $300 to $700 a month to buy food. And then it's a person that like, it's $2-3 over on an hourly rate that you make, and you're hit. Like, they don't care about you. Like, so to your point with the have and have nots, listen, I'd be very honest with you. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, like a single mother may get approved for like stamps and all that type of stuff, and like she's balling in terms of life status. Because think about it, if you don't got to pay for medical insurance and you don't have to really pay for food, that's the core. That's like 45% of what you have to pay for. And then you may live in a low income situation or a second A situation. You literally, it only costs you about like 20% of what it costs to live for a normal person that makes $2-3 above that limit. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So
that's some real shit. And you know, the funny part is that I feel like there's certain people like, you know, like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, it's a huge trap for people to be in the positions that they're in sometimes, because most people, like, put it this way, most people don't really understand like how bad their situation is. And when I say bad, I mean it like this. Let's say you have a person who's like struggling financially, and they're doing the same job over and over again and in the same spot. They're broke every paycheck because after they pay their bills, they hardly have enough money for food. They probably got a kid or whatever the fuck it is, right? They're so trapped in the routine that they don't even realize how far they need to go to get out of the routine, because their whole mindset is to be trapped in the routine. Right. And then they might be even fantasizing, damn, yo, I wish one day I could be rich, or I wish one day I could make, you know, 3 times as much as I'm making. But for them to get to that point is so far away that they don't even realize, because they're trapped in the routine.
Yeah.
So they haven't even stepped out the routine to realize what it would take to get what they're fantasizing about.
Exactly.
Because once they step out of it and they say, okay, let me see what this is about, they're going to be like, shit, I should have been working on this shit 3 years ago, but I was fantasizing about this shit because I was trapped in the routine. So it's like most people don't even know like how bad the situation is they're stuck in, because they're so stuck in the routine that the routine becomes so normal and so comfortable that it's hard to get out of it. And if they ever did, they'd probably go back in it, because they'd realize how far they are from where they really want to be. It's the worst, yo. Because like them homeless people be talking about, or a person's like, yo, you know, let me get some money. You're like, nah, I'll buy you something. And they're like, nah, I'm good. These are people that they're so far gone that they don't realize it's like weird. Like they don't even really know how bad it is, because like you said, most of the people who are like, I guess, making a little bit amount of money, or they're just stuck in these situations, they like to be stuck in it because they're act like, and it sounds messed up, but they're actually lazy to the point where they would never fucking do the things that they actually would need to do to get out of it.
Right. Exactly.
Like, it's weird. Exactly. It's crazy.
Two things. So and you know, and what you're talking about, Lucario, is they have a name for it, and I heard it on his podcast, but I forget. But basically, the idea is that worse situations are better,
right?
Because if your situation was worse, you would actually do the work to get the fuck out, like, or you know what I'm saying. But like you said, if it's complacent enough and they're surviving,
right?
They become complacent. They become they follow the routine, and it's like, well, I could eat. Right. I got the clothes on my back. I got some shoes on my feet. I got a little bit of shelter, and it is what it is. You know, I get to watch Netflix, and I'm chilling. I could pay my cell phone bill. All right, cool. Let's just keep it right here. But now, if shit went bad, like, oh shit, I don't even got enough money for Netflix no more. Oh shit, like I'm out here in the cold, stuck in the rain. I have no clothes. I'm literally assed out, butt naked in 20-degree weather. Okay, now it's bad. I need to figure something out. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that brings me to my point. Let me tell you when you know it's a real recession and a real economic crash. When the rich niggas, is selling everything, and when the rich niggas start panicking, like when the rich niggas start complaining to the mayor, like, hey, mayor.
Right.
You know, I paid 1.5 for this house. Now it's only worth 200,000. What the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
Like, all of my assets are depreciating, Mr. Mayor. What the fuck is going on with the city and the budget? What's up? You know that shit is fucked up. Until then, it's not really a recession. Like I said, it's just, you know, people who are on the lower end adjusting to what the people at the higher end are doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, look, look, man, I swear to God, I thank God every day that me and Lucario jumped in this. We did, bro.
That's a fact. That's real shit.
I swear, bro. Like, I remember I hit up Lucario one day. I was like, yo, because I had watched some shit or listened to some shit about intellectual property and digital intellectual property. And it was like, you know, if you have digital intellectual property, you can sell it without the use of a warehouse.
Right.
Because it's digital. So if you write a book, if you do a video, if you do some type of course, some type of informational thing that people could use that brings value, you can sell it again and again and again without having to pay rent for a warehouse.
Right.
And we got on it, bro. We started the grind. I mean, it took years. But now niggas is at a place where, like, this is where all the money is at.
Right.
You understand?
That. So most people don't have it in them to do the years of what it takes. And I'm like, that shit is crazy. So they don't even know. It's just like when I was talking about with one of our peoples that would DM me talking about, yo, bro, hook me up with a girl, bro. And I'm like, nigga, you're so far gone from where you need to be to get women. You don't even realize. You don't even realize. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you don't realize how ignorant you are until you get to the place where you really need to be. You're like, damn,
right?
I didn't realize it's gonna be that much work.
And see, and I'm gonna tell you why exactly Lucario and I did what we did back when we did what we did. We were already not happy.
Right, exactly.
See, these nuts says happy bums. Like, yes, there are people out there that are complacent. They are basically happy with their life as it is. Lucario and I had jobs in corporate America and all that shit. And we already knew not where it's at, bro.
Exactly.
You understand? And when you understand certain things like that, when you understand what certain people in the elite, you know, mindset understand. When you understand what they understand, you understand that, nah, bro, if I got somebody else signing my checks, then that puts me in a compromising position.
Right.
You understand? Unless I'm in like, we already saw that it was worse. Like, we never got complacent in our, even though if we just wanted to be grateful, we could have just chilled where we were. Like, yeah, keep working the city jobs and keep working the little office jobs and whatever. But Lucario and myself, we already knew, like, nah, bro, this ain't it, bro. This is, we're already in a worse situation. And what is it really gonna be when niggas get older? It's like we got to figure something out for ourselves. And that's what we did, because we were never the happy bums. We were never the complacent motherfuckers. And even now, we're still not complacent because, like I said, every year, all we try to do is come up with new ideas to make the brand better, to expand the message, to reach more people, to make ourselves better so we can spit better game and so we can understand our audience and innovate and do better. You understand? So, and, you know, and that's, to me, that's the beauty of capitalism, because it kind of like puts all of the responsibility on you to say, either you're going to be satisfied or you're going to do what you need to do to always be moving to that next level.
Right. Exactly.
So,
really? So Rashid, do you have any last words to say to people real quick before we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. I mean, my last words would really be, at the end of the day, reach out to RKT Real Estate and Finance. The reason being is just not a promotion. It's one of those things where we'll go over like what your financial situation is. Meaning that if you got a 401k, you have a pension, we're going to go over those details, what you can do, where you can pull money out of. If you don't have any money to pull anything out of, we'll tell you, hey, let's get a credit card, let's get a secure credit card. Build yourself up and prepare for the situation. I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, you got to get prepared. Like, let's stop playing around. Like you have to be prepared. I mean, we could play around and you could live and you can pretend like it's nothing's happening and go about your day, but actually give us a call. Let's actually look at the real situation.
I wanted to ask you real quick, Rashid, because you said earlier that if you have a house with like a certain amount of equity in it, to pull it out. Now, you know, as far as RKT appraisals and all that stuff go, like what type of advice would you actually give to somebody after they pull out that equity in their house? What would you do with that money?
Buy another house. I mean, let's be honest here, though. Like, if you purchased a house prior to 2020, mathematically, even with the interest rates calming down, your house value is at least 30 to 40% higher. Meaning that a person that bought a house that for $200,000 prior to 2020, your house might be worth $300,000, $350,000, maybe maybe even more. So that means that
interest rates change.
Exactly. And it means that if the value of your house increased that much, that means that person that owned a house for $200,000, if it's worth $350,000, you can borrow $80,000 from that house. Meaning that legitimately you can get an investment property. Meaning that if you see a property out there for $300,000, you only have to put $80,000 down. So you can take that money and there's no money out of your pocket. You can get an investment property. Your mortgage will be maybe a little bit higher, but you can make an extra, when it's all said and done, $1,000 a month coming into your pocket without doing nothing but taking out the money out your house. Right. You know what I mean? It's as simple as just running your credit and refinancing and being like, yo, okay, my house is now worth $350,000. I could borrow $80,000. Use that $80,000, buy another property. Rent that out after the mortgage is paid. I'll make an extra $1,200 or $1,500 a month extra in my pocket without doing nothing, without paying $1 out of my own pocket. You can't beat that.
Exactly. So
there's gonna be a lot of people sitting on dead money. Like a lot of people sitting on dead. Like, why you got a house for and you're not using the money that's in there? A lot of times people look at it buying a house and you're like, oh, I got a house and and it's a liability to you. But like, why are you sitting on dead money? Let's be real here though. Like, it's dead. It's not making no money. Yeah.
What's your hours? What's the RKT office hours?
I mean, the office hours is for the most part, should I say, about 18 hours a day. But when you go on the website, it'll book you as far as what's available. Right. So whatever's available, it'll book it up, because whenever someone books a consultation, it'll let you know what's available based off of what somebody previously booked. So just go. Literally, all you gotta do is go to the website and say, "Hey, 6 o'clock is available." Then book for 6 o'clock, and I'm there.
Exactly. So Johnny, you could go to the website and book a consultation whenever, bro. 24 hours a day, because it's a website. So book based on whatever's available, and then get your times. Get your time to sit down and talk. And that's a fact. A lot of people have a lot of things that they own that can be making the money, but it's just because they're not thinking about it a certain way. Like for example, if you own a box truck, a small truck, you could rent that shit out. If you own a car that you don't use much, you could rent it out to somebody who wants to do Uber or Instacart or some shit like that. If you If you like you said, if you have a house, you may not even know how much equity you have. Check how much equity you have. Maybe you could pull a certain amount out of it and actually, buy another asset, whether that be a truck or another house or, shit, you could even, get an apartment, like move into a smaller apartment and then rent out wherever you live in now. Shit like that. Like, who knows? It's a lot of different things you can do if you're not scared to make the adjustments. And, you can, and the whole point, like I was saying before, is to have cash flow. Have cash coming in, bro. Like have different sources of incomes. Like even in one business, provide multiple services. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a, like shit, we do consultations, we got content, we take donations, like, it's different streams of income even with one business. So take whatever business that you got right now and learn how to diversify it, learn how to do different things. Like I was just on the phone with somebody. They have a cleaning business, a catering business, and they run errands and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like all in one. And all you got to do is call their number. They send you an invoice, you pay, and then they do whatever service you ask them for within those 3 genres. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different ways to make money out here. Everything, like, you have to get with the transactional economy, right? Meaning, and when I say that, what I'm talking about is like Uber, DoorDash, Thumbtack. You could get people to come out and paint your house for a certain amount off an app. And you could get into those businesses yourself. You could sign up to those apps and be the person to paint the fucking house and get some money. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to go chill at Home Depot and wait around for niggas to pick you up to go mow the lawn. Like nigga, you could pull a little bit of money out of your house or get a credit card and buy a fucking lawnmower and a weed whacker and start doing some landscaping. Like, it's shit that you could do, bro. And if you too old and weak to do it, then you hire a young boy. You know what I'm saying? You charge, you could charge $50, $60 per lawn and then get a young boy $20 and then you make $40 per lawn and that's money coming in. Like, it's so many things you could do, guys. So many things you could do. But again, you have to understand complacency. You understand? I think the best way to prepare for any type of economic recession or crash or anything like that is to always be on the lookout for other ways to make that bread. Stop being complacent. You understand? Because with the elites stretching out the economy, you can't be complacent with your current situation because sooner or later your current situation won't be enough.
Right.
And that's really what the economic crash is about. Is that you getting complacent with your current situation financially. And then when shit gets stretched out, when Elon Musk creates some new shit, you know what I'm saying? Price of everything goes up and you still there making the same amount of money that you was making the last 5-10 years. And you never switched up. You never added any services. You never got a fucking certification to make yourself more marketable in your own industry. Like, you never even started your own practice. You only work for somebody, imagine you're a fucking plumber and you only work for a plumber service and you don't put your name on Facebook to go to do no side jobs as a plumber, nigga. You the one that's wasting your own time. You understand? Because you only work Monday through Friday. Who's there to say that you can't lay some pipe on the weekend, so to speak? You feel me? But I mean, oh shit. I found out about this shit called Foot Finder. Footfinder.com. You can take pictures of your feet and make money if people like your feet.
That's crazy.
Real shit. Real shit.
Ridiculous. So it's so much shit that dudes could do and people could do, men and women. Man, it's a lot of shit out there, people. So, try to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? Like get them things going. You feel me?
Hold on. I think it's called Feet Finder. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I got it before I steer y'all wrong. Hold on. Yes, it's Feet Finder. FEET Finder.com. And it says, I'm on the website right now. It's pink and purple. It says, buy and sell feet content. Feet Finder is the safest, easiest, and most secure website for verified users to view, buy, and sell custom feet content. Over 1 million users uploading and buying content daily. And they have 2 options: view/buy feet pics or sell feet pics. So, nigga, it's ways to make money out here, man. Y'all niggas is just being lazy, bro. Like, honestly, bro. You can literally take pictures of your crusty ass feet and then somebody will buy the shit because your feet look like something they've never seen before.
Right.
You understand? And you can make some fucking money out here, man. Stop playing. Like, you see all these hoes on OnlyFans. You see them. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So go get your money, man. Stop playing.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That might be a good show, a show to talk about different ways motherfuckers to make money. You know what I'm saying? And find different shits that we could talk about. I think that'll be a good show coming up. But yeah, man, well, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We gonna holler at y'all later. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. Be good.